Welcome to Strange Bedfellows, a Julian Fellowes podcast. I'm Kurt Graves.
And I'm Stefanie Jochman-Deepak. Today, we are discussing the Oscar and BAFTA award-winning film, Gosford Park.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Strange Bedfellows.
We're so glad you're back.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for coming back. We are talking about Gosford Park, a movie I had never seen before.
And a movie I had seen twice, but really never, I register the end and the beginning, but then sort of forget about everything in the middle.
And there's
really
a lot in the middle.
Yeah. I feel like it's a movie that I've had on in the background on rainy Sunday afternoons. And this time I really sat down to pay attention and appreciate just how much is going on in this film.
Yeah. So before we talk about our thoughts, we're starting with a 60-second recap.
Yes.
By our friend, Ms. Stefanie Jochman-Deepak.
Yes, because I think it's valuable. We all be on the same page. So I'm going to give you a quick summary in case you haven't watched it before this episode so that you can follow along.
Yes.
You are cordially invited to the home of Lord Carton, William McCordle, his cold wife, and his sullen daughter for a weekend of hunting grouse and hunting money amidst the landed gentry and Hollywood's elite. But anytime this many Oscar and BAFTA nominees are gathered in one place, there can only be one thing on someone's mind: murder. And
say it the Alan Cumming way. You have to.
Murder. And fumbling Detective Stephen Fry is on the case. Eventually, we discover, in a twist on a trope, it wasn't the butler that did it, but the maid, as Helen Mirren's long-suffering Mrs. Wilson takes revenge on her longtime employer, Lord McCardle, or Lord Carton, I should say, for the way he treated her and their illegitimate son, who turns out to be Clive Owen.
Gasp.
A visiting manservant, who also tried his hand at the murder after his mom took care of it. The party departs the house, having discovered the murder, and Hollywood leaves with a new plot, and young lady's maid Kelly MacDonald, who's sort of our audience surrogate in this film, leaves with a new understanding of how life in a great house works.
Yes. So we have that classic upstairs-downstairs dynamic happening.
Yes, indeed. And I think Downton was initially conceived as a spin-off of this film, and then they just shifted to an entirely new family. But if you've watched the film, you know that a number of cast members carry over. Yes.
And it will be so much fun to talk about those cast members. So let's talk about the movie for a little bit.
Yes.
I have a stream of consciousness list of notes in the order in which I was having my stream of consciousness thoughts as I watched the movie.
Same. I have that, and I also have a character chart that I divided into upstairs and downstairs.
Amazing. Because I don't know anybody's name in this whole movie.
I will fill that in, but I will have you know that the list initially began with things like, let's see, Zoe Bartlett's terrible French boyfriend.
Yes.
So the actor Trent Ford plays on The West Wing, Zoe Bartlett's terrible French boyfriend. So my cast list is the name where Trent Ford should be. And then Mr. Blonde, which is his actual name. But ironic, given that his companion, who's being played by Rupert something, is very, very blonde. So Mr. Blonde, not blonde. But it's
maybe this is what contributed to my confusion. Although mostly I think it was just the sheer size of the cast.
Yeah.
And the story.
Yeah, I had to go into IMDb to get a number of these names.
And I tried to what I did do was I watched it without looking up any supporting materials, because I was like, if I was simply walking into my local movie theater when this movie came out and I watched the movie, what would my impression have been? Because what I did know about it is that it was an Oscar award-winning screenplay.
Yes.
So I expected great things.
And I think it meets those expectations.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a conversation about that. So.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So do you want to just start with your first stream of consciousness?
My first note is rated R for some language and brief sexuality. Oh no, what have we gotten ourselves into?
Oh, I didn't even notice that. It must be for those kitchen scenes that Kelly MacDonald
Yes.
walks in on. Because they're really
Brief, some language. I was like, oh, some language? Okay, thank you. I was like, what a weird way to phrase that. And brief sexuality. Golly. But and yet somehow rated R. Have you ever seen I'm sure you have. This was a stupid way to phrase that because you're Stephanie Jochman. Have you seen the movie musical of Hair?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
which is
I think
PG-13.
So much nudity.
It's so much nudity.
Yeah. Shout out to our mutual friend Molly. That was one of our sleepover movies one time. Walk down to the family video, pick that up, finish it. Like, what did we just see?
Yeah. We should not have been allowed to rent that movie.
Yeah.
And then the opening credits roll, and my thought is, okay, so every famous British actor ever is in this movie.
Yes.
And the names just kept coming.
Yep. Names and faces just keep rolling. Just keep rolling. I mean, should I list some of the people we're going to see in this film?
Sure.
So you get your Michael Gambon, your Helen Mirren, your Kristen Scott Thomas, Derek Jacobi, Alan. Well, no, that's not one that people would know by name. You get your Kelly MacDonald, Emily Watson, Jeremy Northam, Maggie Smith, Clive Owen, Charles Dance, Eileen Atkins, Tom Hollander. Like half the cast of Pride and Prejudice is in this movie.
And a good number of Game of Thrones actors too.
Yeah, exactly. Richard E. Grant. Just so many. And Jeremy Swift.
Swift.
Yeah, that was one where I was like, oh, I didn't know he was in this. And then you see him.
Sprat.
Yeah.
That's one of my notes. It's Sprat. So we open with it's raining, not making me want to visit England. This particular opening scene. I was like, nope, I'm good.
Oh, but it's a cold and it's a rain that makes you want to just have tea. Makes tea really good.
Okay. Well, I can have that here.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if I was on the travel advisory board of all of England, I would be like, could it maybe be sunny instead? No, it's raining. Okay, it's raining. It rains a lot. We get it.
That means we can all wear our furs, like our full-on animals. I want to talk about that.
Full-on animal, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just wrote, the way I am expecting this car to drive up to Highclere Castle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just waiting for that opening credits of Downton Abbey to and there's Highclere Castle.
Yep.
Close.
Yeah, it's very similar, but not. I think I looked up the home, but I did not write it down.
Yeah. Yeah, and then just how I miss Maggie Smith.
Yes. Yeah.
She's just, screen time right away.
Yep. Great decision. Good job, Robert Altman.
Yep,
on that one. Yep. Always start with Maggie Smith. In fact, my first note is Dame Maggie is devastating, but in a very calculated way. And I'm trying to remember.
I'm curious what you mean by that.
At this point, I have to. Because it's been a few weeks. Yeah, I think. Does then she say a woman who travels with no maid has lost her self-respect?
Something like that, yeah.
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 And so just the way, she has to be calculated, right? Because her character is coming in, when I talked about, hunting grouse and hunting money, she's someone who is seeking some additional financial support from Michael Gambon's character. So I think maybe that's she's devastating, but in a calculated way. She has to watch her words.
Yeah. Only
make her declarations when it seems safe to do so, and when it still gets her in with the nephew who could support her. Yeah. Or the son-in-law.
I don't know. Again, I couldn't name any one of these people. I will be referring to them by their real names, their actor names, including Mr. Bob Balaban, who I just saw in Waiting for Guffman again before I watched this movie, and I was like, what a great memory.
And co-conceived of this movie. So, the movie emerges from his idea.
Really? I missed that.
Yeah, if you watch the opening credits, it's from an created or from an idea from Bob Balaban, and I I don't know if it's Altman. I think it might be Altman. And then Julian Fellowes writes the script.
That would be interesting. It's interesting to think about how Hollywood works in that way, that somebody can get a screenwriting, like a nearly a screenwriting credit by being like, hey, what if a Hollywood producer went to an English estate?
Yeah.
Now I get some money for that, right? I said that out loud. So, yeah. Loved right away Kristen Scott Thomas greeting Maggie Smith and saying, have you had a horrid day? And she says, yes. Fairly horrid. I'm like, oh, fairly horrid. How I shall be describing things.
Yeah, fairly
when I
horrid.
even have just kind of a meh day.
Fairly
Has
horrid.
it been a horrid day? Oh, yes. Fairly horrid.
I love how they ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the inflection on a British question. It's just musical.
It is. To our dumb American ears, they all sound so fancy and fantastic.
Yes.
So then we enter the house.
Yes.
We start to meet this huge cast of characters, including upstairs and downstairs people.
Yep. Yeah, and so we're moving upstairs and we're moving downstairs. We're sort of in the mix, and Robert Altman as a director is known for, just shooting it all, and you're taking the overlapping conversations is a very Altman thing to do. Big casts, very Altman thing to do. So we're getting that, but now the British Manor version of Robert Altman. And what I love is, like, as you'll see in the premiere of Downton Abbey, Fellowes uses the hunting party and sort of the introduction of new people into the house as a means of introducing the audience to the house, to how it works. And I just think that's a really, I don't know if clever is the right word for it, but it's a really useful, really well executed way of, like, offering your exposition, explaining how things work, sort of setting the table for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a fairly well established tool in a writer's chest, is to use a character to be the audience stand-in to help explain what's going on here. But he uses it to great effect in both places. I will say that I think, though, as a result, when we get these really large casts, what it felt like to me was a very slow start to this movie. And I remember thinking the same thing about Downton Abbey. Yes.
I was going to talk about that in our next episode. The idea that, like, in my first experiences of Downton, it really didn't start cooking for me until, like, episode 3.
Yeah.
Until Mr. Pamuk arrives. So it kind of, this follows the same trajectory. And I think that's why, until this very concentrated viewing, not much of Gosford Park had been memorable.
Right. Well, and I do think too, like, maybe we're just more media savvy now because there is so much more content. But, like, in the opening scene when they're rushing through that servants' hall, and then suddenly we linger on the bottle of poison in the servants' thing, I was like, is it even fair to call this a Chekhov's gun? Because they basically picked it up and fired it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's not a Chekhov's gun. It's just a gun that's, like, right there. It's like, bottle, and it's labeled poison. I wonder if someone will get poisoned in this movie.
Well, and that, as you mentioned that too, there, Downton, like, sets up a zig and then zags when it comes to poison in the kitchen and in the downstairs, right?
Yes.
Because there is the little bit where Daisy nearly poisons the whole family because she brings up the wrong ingredient to go on top of the chicken. So, there's a nice callback. It's been fun to watch these two things sort of in parallel, in tandem with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. My other thought very early in the movie is Maggie Smith has been old for a long time.
I'm going to say makeup and hair artists have been good at making Maggie Smith look old for a long time.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm going to give Maggie Smith the credit that I think often she's been dressed up to look old when she hasn't really looked that old.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does. It does. And I like, as I'm watching, I was like, she's already the Dowager Countess in this movie.
Yeah.
It was like 20 years earlier.
Well, and is she in Hook?
She is, yes.
Is she older Wendy?
Yeah.
In Hook? And that would have been a decade prior to Gosford Park, and she's made to look old there too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she wasn't young. She had been a successful and revered actress for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
to this point.
Since the prime of Miss Jean Brodie is like the 60s, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So she earned her stripes. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, she's already playing an old lady in this. And she looks like almost the same as she does when she starts Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
That's with high-def cameras.
Yeah. And she still looks great. And made to look old and wizened, but also still looks fabulous in Downton. So
yeah, this also could have just been called a Maggie Smith fan cast. Because we adore her and we'll be talking about her a lot.
Quite often.
And the rigors of training a new maid.
That was my next line.
Yeah.
Nothing is so exhausting as breaking in a new maid.
Yes.
Talk about your champagne problems.
But she's so cheap. And yet, it's interesting because it's a new maid. She's still training her, and yet she trusts her with some very intimate information about this family. And so it's this strange dynamic of you're basically a stranger, you're on probation, but let me tell you everything.
Yeah.
And I trust that this won't come back to bite me in the ass, because who are you going to tell?
Yeah. I really like how all of Fellowes' work explores that interesting intimacy that this sort of upstairs downstairs configuration creates. And you can see why it's ripe for drama, right? We have people who are living in very distinct categories of their society, and yet we are humans existing in a world together. And so the boundaries and the lines are going to be crossed, and that's where the drama happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes you question the whole system in the first place.
I question a lot of systems.
Yes.
There's so many systems to question. Okay, so it's about this time I wrote, it's 20 minutes in, and I have no idea what's going on. Has anything happened?
I have, what do I have? At this point, I'm just taking, I do want to call out, they spit on the silverware to clean it at some point.
And germs definitely existed at this point.
Yeah.
we knew that wasn't great. Although, aren't there wellness people even today being well, silver kills germs.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they're on the silver, it's fine. Or they're happily spreading influenza to the people upstairs. I'm not feeling great today. Let me polish the silver.
Yeah.
Chewy.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
But yes, so 20 minutes in, you're feeling there's nothing going on.
Except for that bottle of poison. I'm
yeah.
All we've done is introduce people and try to establish relationships.
I feel the relationships though are their own, that they're their own interest, right? It's all in the glances and the underhanded comments.
It would be interesting to go rewatch the movie, as I have rewatched Downton Abbey several times and found much more interest in the pilot episode than I did the first time, because I was already familiar with the characters.
Yeah. And
so I was able to attach to them right away in a rewatch. Whereas, again, watching this for the first time, I'm just I don't know anybody's name. I don't know who's related to who. There are so many people who are here. Who is married? Who's married and who's actually a part of the family, and which brunette gentleman of about the same build is trying to get the money, and which one is the Hollywood movie star, and which one is the what?
And I think I spent a good chunk of that first 20 minutes going, okay, Kristen Scott Thomas is related to who and is married to whom. So, I mean, just for listeners, so Kristen Scott Thomas's character is Sylvia. She's married to Michael Gambon.
Which is not a pairing that visually makes sense to me.
No.
Because for a long time I was so that's her dad.
Right.
I was like,
Or
that's not her dad.
nope.
Okay.
It's her husband, and she gambled for him, right? Didn't
Yeah.
Maggie Smith or revealed they cut cards? The sisters were trying to set themselves up in different marriages. And so Sylvia ends up with Lord Carton. Isabel ends up with, she has a sister Isabel, and I don't remember who she's with. And then there's Stockbridge. I think she ends up with, no. And then Geraldine Somerville is Louisa Stockbridge, so she ends up with Stockbridge. But Kristen Scott Thomas and Charles Dance maybe had a thing going. Like the first 20 minutes are kind of, this is the drama amongst these people who are visiting.
I'll say this. For me, from my tastes in 2025, too subtle. I was like, I can't read a look or I need somebody to tell me what's going on. And it's okay that there are lots of people in the scene, but it seems like we are really trying to get that level of background for all of them.
Yeah.
And I can't keep that much information in my head that quickly.
And meanwhile, the movie is also trying to reveal to us that Ryan Felipe, despite the fact that he has a Scottish accent,
Sort of.
Yes.
Which I do actually appreciate that about this movie, because he started speaking and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, how did they let him get away with this?
I when he started, I was like, oh boy, what are we doing? And then I'd forgotten that eventually it's revealed that he's an American actor who's just like trying on a role. Apparently, according to IMDb trivia, was supposed to be Jude Law's part, and then he couldn't take it. So interesting.
That makes sense to me. One could sub Orion Philippe for Jude Law fairly easily.
Yep. You can see it, especially at that point in the early 2000s. Very, very possible.
Yep.
But yeah, so the movie's also trying to hint at the fact that Ryan Felipe isn't quite who he says he is.
Because at this point, he's acting the part of a valet.
Yes. I do love the very open and obvious flirtation between Felipe and Kristen Scott Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
Like hot milk or cold.
Yeah, it's palpable.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And then made very explicit later on.
Yes. There's that brief sexuality.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The Ryan Felipe plot made me wonder, like, was the second Downton movie has like a whole Hollywood bit of its plot that is strikingly similar to what happens in Gosford Park. So I'm wondering what the connection is there.
And I think that is something that as we watch more Julian Fellowes properties, we will also see happening, like similarities in storylines where it's like, okay, didn't we do this already? Oh, wait, that was a different show.
Yeah.
But those are the dramas that were available to explore of that time, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like somebody can accidentally, like have their nudes hacked on their phone, So it's like we can't explore that storyline. We got to go with what was available at the time.
We could just have very gossipy letters.
Yes, exactly.
Sent to the right places.
So just some other random thoughts. When she kicks the dog, I was like, well, I hope you're the one who gets poisoned.
Yes.
She's not, but I was like, well, I hope you die. And I'd be okay. Like, it's the only acceptable reason to kick a dog in a movie is if you immediately die. She does not.
Sadly, no.
Mabel Nesbitt is such a plain sounding name.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That name is doing a lot of work to establish that character.
Well, and poor and then Claudie Blakely goes on to be Charlotte Lucas in Pride and Prejudice, who gets stuck with a really plain life, right? She's the one, now it's very memeable. Like, I'm 28 and I have no prospects. My parents have abandoned me, whatever the meme is now, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's, poor woman's playing a lot of these put upon characters.
Yeah. And then it's 38 minutes, still waiting for a plot. Oh, but then my next note is maybe I spoke too soon. A missing knife. Are we setting up a game of Clue? poison in the parlor, a knife in the drawing room. Is it going to be one of those? Is it going to be that kind of situation?
Yeah, I do like how there all these like possibilities set up all of a sudden. And as when the murder takes place, the movie's very careful about offering us some options of who could have done it. Like we see very carefully, who could have been in the right place, who was coming into the room late, that sort of thing. So I do like that setup. All while Jeremy Northam is just singing to himself.
Yes. Yeah.
And to the room, who's growing increasingly bored.
I was going to say, I don't know who says it, but at some point one of the guys says, everyone knows the desperate situation we're in. I don't. What are you talking about? That was one of those times where I was like, I don't know what's going on in this movie. There's too many strings to pull at, and too many threads to follow.
Yeah, I could not put together what exactly was going on with Mabel Nesbitt's husband and then Michael Gambon's daughter, because Michael Gambon's daughter, the very sullen girl that I mentioned earlier, she was definitely having
and she's eccentric because she has curly hair.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Who lets that bob go that way?
Right.
And she is carrying on with like Mr. Blonde, right? Or no, not Mr. Blonde. Mr. Blonde's friend.
The actual blonde one.
Yeah, she's with the actual blonde one, but also has had this past with Nesbitt.
I was going to say, is she supposed to be with somebody else? I'm confused. She sneaks behind plants with more than one guy.
Yeah. So now looking back, I'm like, I don't think I ever really registered totally what was going on with that. I think she alluded, I think, to what's Emily Watson, which, oh man, we have not even talked about Emily Watson. She's so good in this as like the all-knowing maid. She's so good. And she was in cahoots with the daughter about something, presumably like help the daughter get out of trouble.
Yeah.
As the phrasing would be. Seems like that. But yeah.
Well, one of my thoughts about Emily Watson that comes up later is because once she's not in her maid uniform anymore, looks too much like Kristen Scott Thomas. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait, which one are you?
Yeah.
And then
point.
Ryan Philippe is flirting with both of them. And I was like,
I think Ryan Philippe had sex with that whole house.
Yeah, I think he could.
That is one of my notes comments.
Is Ryan Philippe a whore? And I mean that literally. Like, was he a sex worker from that time? And I think he might have been. And that's why he was along with this Hollywood producer.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like they had that kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Bob Balaban straight up asks him, like, will you be staying tonight?
Yeah. So it seems like that, for sure.
And he's like, no, that wouldn't be right. I'm going to go have a rousing conversation with the lady of the house, let's say.
Yes. Yeah. One of my notes is Ryan Philippe will have relations with the whole house.
Yes. My goodness. All right. I think it's Maggie who says, I haven't a snobbish bone in my body. That made me laugh.
I like the, who was it that says bought marmalade? I call that very feeble.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite lines.
Oh, I have a note somewhere about just like, I should drink more, or I should eat more jam. Because it looked delightful.
Jam
as they were
lovely.
eating it from the pan. I was like, jam sounds great. And then I'm like, okay, so we're an hour and 20 minutes in. Someone finally got stabbed, but it's also clear that he was already dead.
And so
the plot has begun.
Yep.
Like, all right. We finally have the inciting incident.
Yes. Also love how totally unfazed Kristen Scott Thomas is. Her husband has died. Not in mourning at all.
No.
Ready to make it with the valet.
Mm-hmm. If he can get her out of her dress, which he can't.
Yeah. Impossible.
Yeah.
All the buttons.
Yeah. I was like, you almost have to call the maid back in. Like, can you undo this? Don't worry about him.
We'd like to have an affair.
Yeah. It's not an affair anymore.
That's true. That's true.
No. And then Stephen Fry arrives.
Yes.
Always happy to see him.
Yes. And interestingly, the trailer makes it sound like he's a very capable detective. and then you find he's actually not.
So this is one of my big issues with the script.
Okay.
Is
say more.
Tonally, it seems very odd to have such a bumbling detective arrive so late in a movie where that tone has not been established at all. And then it's almost like they were afraid to make him too bumbling. So the writing really implies that this guy just keeps screwing things up, and he's touching the evidence, and he's not seeing what's very plain to the uniform officer who is with him, and is like, well, what about this thing over here? And it's not embraced enough, and it also seems strange to add that element in this movie at this point in time, which is probably why they didn't go all the way with it.
Yeah.
But tonally, his character just made no sense to me. I was like, wait, what now with this guy? And like, it's clear by the end of the movie, like, well, he's never going to solve it. Probably. There's probably not going to be any consequences for this murder because this dum-dum has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But that almost does a disservice to, in my opinion, the ending, because it's like, it's hard to feel like they got away with something when like the person who would be needed to catch them is just never there. Yeah. Like the stakes are low because it's like this guy, he's not going to catch anybody.
I wonder if, so the whole time the Bob Balaban character is doing research for his next Charlie Chan film, right?
Yes.
And I wonder if there's something, like there's some other level, like they're aiming to make this really meta, where suddenly it's become more of a Hollywood film where you would have the bumbling detective, and that's maybe what Stephen Fry's take. I don't know if there's like a weird blending of the Hollywood and the drawing room drama.
Yeah. Well, and because Bob Balaban produces movies about a detective, right? He's solves crimes, and then he's researching a murder in London.
Yes.
And at one point they're having a conversation. Maggie Smith even asks him, like, well, tell us who did it. And he's like, well, then you wouldn't watch the movie. And she's like, well, we're not going to see it.
So good.
Like, movies are too lowbrow for us. That's not how we entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
We like the real thing here in the British aristocracy.
Yes, we'd prefer our own murder happening at our home.
This is how we keep entertained.
Yes.
So Stephen Fry enters, and he's just kind of messing things up.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Very strange. I also found the underscoring in periods of this movie to be quite odd.
Yeah. Tell me more. Can you mention a moment?
When I'm not going to remember her name.
Yeah.
Mary McLachlan. When
Kelly MacDonald. Yes.
Kelly MacDonald goes down to clean a shirt. There's I don't know. It's almost like Charlie Brown's parents. It's so strange. It's amelodic. Yeah. It's heavy.
Well, it's meant to be, because that's the moment, she thinks she sees Lord Carton, right, with the cook.
Is that what she thinks she sees?
Yes, because she sees the cook, or she sees two people together in the part of the kitchen. I don't remember which room it is, right? But she sees them, and then the next thing she sees is Lord Carton talking to, is it Helen Mirren?
Oh.
Talking to somebody. And then what she doesn't see is that it was actually one of the young men. I think it was Zoe's terrible boyfriend who was making it with the cook.
There's no way that was Michael Gambon. There's no way.
Okay,
the booty was too tight. The legs were too muscular and young.
The way it was cut, I was definitely thinking it was him at first, and then they clarified it later. It was like, oh, okay. But I thought for sure, because she gets Emily Watson all upset.
That didn't even register for me. that she thought it was him, because looking at the booty, I was like, that is one of the young guys.
See, I think I must have been looking at like the legs that were crossed over the booty or something like that. And so
that frame was too fit and trim with
just
like legs that had not yet seen the age of 30.
Well, then she tells Emily Watson, who gets really upset, right? So presumably Emily Watson's had this relationship with Michael Gambon. So I was just going along that train. Did not think it was one of the.
And I was with Emily Watson when she's like, no, it couldn't have been him. And I'm like, yeah, it obviously wasn't him. What is she talking about? I didn't. Yeah. Okay. So that actually makes more sense now, that whole exchange, because I was like, what is she talking about? It could not. It was a tiny little booty.
And then so Mary puts herself in jeopardy, like witnesses all this stuff that's going to become really relevant. And then her ladyship doesn't even wear the shirt that she got herself into so much trouble for. Terrible.
Because she packed a shirt with stripes. Heaven forbid.
Oh, yes.
We couldn't wear. We only wear the most plain things for hunting. It's like, it's going under a coat, lady. Yeah. Who cares?
You got your houndstooth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your tweed.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about what they're wearing for the hunt, is Kristen Scott Thomas wearing a wolf?
Basically.
Like it is
or a fox.
I think maybe a fox, yeah.
Yeah, like a large gray fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the whole carcass.
I've never seen that before.
No.
Like I've seen like minks and stuff where you like vaguely see head to tail, but never like you're wearing a pelt.
Yeah, no, that's basically, and who's to say if that was what? I'm sure it is. I'm sure this was historically accurate.
Yeah,
but like, I'm sure that piece of outfitry. I'm remiss to call it clothing. I'm sure that piece came from somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. At this point, I started noticing things like, I want some jam.
And then, ooh, yummy, yummy.
I was like, yeah, I don't put jam on enough things. It's such a great way to like, liven up something.
It's really satisfying.
Yeah, a good fruit preserve, awesome.
Yes.
And then I wrote, why don't we store dishes vertically? It really is a better system. Because they have all the plates like standing on their sides in those, and I was like, we should really be doing that. So. Everyone is so horny in this movie. These are the notes that I'm taking at this point because I've lost the plot.
Because I'd seen it before, there are a couple things I'm paying attention to in terms of foreshadowing. So when they do the hunting and then they've got like Michael Gambon gets shot on his ear, right? And then they drop the Bloody Mary when they're at lunch. So it's like blood on the floor. So I did appreciate those little like winks.
Sure. A little bit of foreshadowing.
Yes.
But not see me still hoping it's the girl who kicked the dog who gets murdered. Yes. I'm like, why do they keep doing this with the old guy? Oh, okay. He's the one they actually want to kill. So, and then, and we can touch on some more, things if you want to, but to me then it just kind of speeds to the end where we reveal that the new maid Mary McLaughlin learns that like the head housekeeper actually gave up Clive Owen.
Yes,
like that's her son and he's the illegitimate son of the guy who got murdered, and she's all like, oh, he must have been the one who did it. And goes and confronts him alone.
Crazy.
Insane. I mean, Clive Owen's good looking, but not like, I'm going to go confront a murderer alone. Good looking.
Yeah.
Who is good looking enough that I would go confront them alone about a murder I'm pretty sure they committed?
Oh, good question.
Does anybody fall into that? Is anybody that hot?
That you'd risk their retaliation?
Yeah. Like, well, they might kill me. Strong chance, in fact.
Yeah.
Good chance.
mean, Clive Owen at that point in his career is a good candidate.
Hmm.
Maybe like a Jude Law in The Holiday.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
I don't know. I still don't think I'm confronting them about murder in a closed room.
yeah.
Especially a room that's designed to not bother the people downstairs.
Oh, good point. Good
You
point.
know?
I mean,
Because he's in the servants' hall. Like
yeah.
Or the servants' quarters.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then, of course, he kisses her, and it's like, oh, okay. You only attempted murder. Let's make up.
So, yeah. Yeah, I was not expecting that either. Like, a very bold move. I mean, you saw something growing between them, maybe not that strong. And part of me wants to be like, let's ask first, Clive Owen.
Well, there simply wasn't time to build that sort of tension because there's too many people to pay attention to, and no two people in the entire movie had time to actually build chemistry. So to me, the strength of the movie is based on the individual performances, like your Maggie Smiths, like your Richard E. Grant, who does a lot with a little.
Oh my goodness, his smirks.
Yeah.
His smirks are awesome.
Yeah.
Emily Watson too. I've just really liked her in this part. Just like
Derek Jacobi.
Yes.
Makes a meal out of this.
So
and
good.
so like there are some beautiful individual performances.
Oh, speaking of which, so the head butler is Jennings, right? And he's played by an actor named Alan Bates.
Oh.
And I wonder if Mr. Bates is named in tribute to Alan Bates or not. I have no idea.
Be. Yeah.
But he's great in that part.
Yeah. So we just sort of speed to the end at this point. Because it's the maid figures out, oh, it was Clive, but it couldn't have been because we've established at this point that the stabbing isn't what actually killed Michael Gambon's character. It was the poisoning that happened before that. And then she figures out that it was Helen Mirren, who was Clive's mom, and goes to confront her alone again.
Clearly,
they don't end up making out.
I mean, really, to our detriment.
Right. I mean, I suppose that could have been just her strategy for getting out of being a murdered person who knows what's going on. So she does it again. And it's like, Mary McCunn, stop it.
She didn't get that lesson. She didn't get that maid lesson yet.
That's
if
true.
You suspect a fellow resident of murder,
don't go talk to them.
Yeah, don't go talk to them alone.
No.
That's the 201.
Yeah.
That's Ladies Maid 201, and she just didn't get there yet.
We're still on what shirts to pack for a hunting party.
Yes.
So, yeah. And yeah, I mean, one of my notes towards the end, because at this point, it's like we've established that it wasn't actually Clive, but like everybody's leaving. Like people are in their cars going away, and I'm like, wait, but we don't know who killed him yet. And then she goes down and confronts Helen Mirren, who we learn had a child out of wedlock with Michael Gambon's character.
When he was running factories.
She was a factory worker there. Both her and her sister both were impregnated by this man.
Yes.
Her sister, the cook in the house. So like they're sisters.
Yep.
Whereas her sister chose to keep her child and live life as a single mother in a time when that was not acceptable. Helen Mirren believed his lies, that he knew a family who wanted a child, and instead he put them in an orphanage.
Yeah.
So that's Clive Owen's story, is he was put in an orphanage and she didn't know it until, of course, she did. And then, sort of put herself linked to his life in a really intrinsic way. She made sure she was there. And then suddenly the kid shows up with a picture of her and is like, oh, wow, that's my kid. I think I know why he's here. He's figured this out. If he has that picture, that means he knows.
Yeah.
He's going to try to kill him. I'll kill him first. Which, to Lord Fellowes' credit, is an interesting twist.
Yeah.
It is. But so much of that is just explained in a monologue at the end. And I'm like, hey, brother.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot. As a mystery, it maybe doesn't work as well. As like a drawing room, find yourself amongst the upstairs, downstairs drama, I think it works.
Yeah. Again, maybe on second viewing, because I know more of what's going on already and I'm familiar with these people, I might catch more details. But on a first viewing, I was mostly bored, very confused, and then frustrated at the end that so much was just like thrown up in the last 20 minutes to explain what had happened. I don't like mysteries that just kind of like give you everything you need to know later.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And the fact that it took an hour and 20 minutes in a 2 hour and 20-minute movie to get to the murder. I did not find the pacing of this to be very well done at all. And I don't know that we blame that entirely on the script. That's also a director's issue.
Yeah, I think some of it is, it's that, yeah, Altman is normally, he's like, and I haven't watched a lot of his work, but it's so often, you know, getting people in overlapping conversations and just sort of getting at the real life of things, and the plot just emerges from that. And yet in a mystery, you really have to pace it in a certain way. And that maybe the pacing just didn't come the way that you needed or wanted it to.
Yeah. And just as like a viewer in 2025 watching this, I was frustrated because it was like, more needs to happen. And especially because I did not know this was a murder mystery. I knew nothing about the plot of this movie.
Oh, okay.
So when you're an hour and 20 minutes in and nothing has happened except for drawing room politics, it's like, what the hell is... And again, when I saw the poison early in the thing, I was like, somebody's getting poisoned.
Yeah.
But then an hour and 20 minutes later, nobody's been poisoned yet. I'm thinking, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just a shot that happened in, you know...
Yeah.
And I read too much into it.
I think this is really a film that benefits from multiple viewings because I went in knowing I couldn't remember which of the two sisters did it. I thought I knew, and then stuff happened that made me question it, but I knew the ending going in this viewing. And so I think I could go in like wanting to pay attention to details other than the mystery because I knew the mystery would happen and I knew vaguely how it played itself out. I think I'd totally forgotten about Clive Owen as like one's son. But then I got to just enjoy other things like, just, you know, as Jeremy Northam's playing piano and Dame Maggie's like awfully long repertoire.
Yes.
You know, they're just all sort of bored by him. The fact that the song, one of the songs that Jeremy, the What a Duke Should Be, like that's what he's singing, I think, when they murder Michael Gambon. And it includes the word parvenu. And then the word parvenu shows up again in, I think, Downton.
Oh,
if I remember right. Yeah. And it was one of those words that like showed up several times in the. I heard it once. I was like, "What's a parvenu?" And then I heard it again. I was like, "Well, now I know," because I looked it up as I was watching Gosford Park.
Fun fact: several of those songs he sang came out after 1932.
Oh,
he should not have. He should not have known those.
Unless he's clairvoyant. That's the next mystery.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember the context of this line, but anyone would think you're Italian.
Oh God, yes. Yes. Is that to Clive Owen? I think that's the butler to Clive Owen.
I think so.
Because just of he's dark complex, like he has dark hair, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. No. I mean, and that is to Julian Fellowes' credit. There's some great lines.
Yes.
It's still very witty. When you come to like and maybe it's just my association with Maggie Smith as the Dowager Countess. Like, her character seems more well fleshed out, but it might just be because she's basically playing a character I've already seen her play for 6 seasons and 2 movies.
Yeah.
You know? So like there's really good stuff there in the writing, but to me, the movie as a whole on a first watch didn't work for me.
Understandable. I hear that.
So, but many people disagreed because it won a lot of awards.
Yes.
And it was nominated for many awards. So at the Academy Awards, it was nominated for film, Best Film. Helen Mirren and Maggie Smith were both nominated for Supporting Actress, which I do not understand. They're both barely in the movie.
Yeah.
And again, that's just a result of there being so many people in the movie that it's like their screen time could not have added up to more than just a few minutes, which does happen in Supporting Actress from time to time. Strange that 2 people from the same movie would get that treatment.
Yeah.
And especially for Helen Mirren, who gets one good scene.
Yeah.
But I guess that's all it takes sometimes.
That's all it takes. I think about other supporting nominees and winners who've really had like that one great moment.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in the Tonys for Best Featured Actor, Actress. Often they have like the one great number.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, like her one big moment is like the very end of the movie where she's actually crying. And her sister comes in and is like, now, dear, enough of that.
Yeah.
They'll know something's up. No. If they hear you having an emotion, surely they'll figure out you murdered on behalf of your son.
Illegitimate son. Or not,
illegitimate
her,
son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, no, dear. Shush. Like, let the woman cry.
Although I feel like, no,
her
dear.
employer was just murdered. There are things you could be like, yeah, she's had a day. Just let her have a few minutes.
But I feel like, no, dear. Shush. It could be the title of like Rules to the British Aristocracy.
Right, yes, that's true. No, dear. Shush. Yes. So yeah, nominations for both Helen Mirren and Maggie Smith. Director Robert Altman was nominated for Best Director, and then art direction and costume design fully support those nominations. And a win for Julian Fellowes for Best Original Screenplay.
All right.
So that's how he got his Oscar. And then at the BAFTAs, there was nomination for screenplay for Robert Altman as director, for Helen Mirren and Maggie Smith again, production design, and best makeup and hair. And then Julian Fellowes was also nominated as most promising newcomer.
What?
Which is a fun award the BAFTAs do. And It also does best British film, which the film did win for.
Very
and
nice.
Costume design it also won for at the BAFTAs.
I mean, Kristen Scott Thomas wears a wolf.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Give this lady an Oscar.
Yes.
So any other reactions or comments on Gosford Park?
I mean, I'm really glad we revisited it, and I think it will lend some really interesting layers to discussions of Downton. I would say you should try watching it one more time, just to like.
I probably will at some point.
Yeah, maybe not right away, but yeah, I think I'm just glad to revisit it. Really surprised and delighted by details that I didn't notice the first time, and eager to watch the second Downton movie again in light of Gosford Park. So
yeah,
that's where I land, and happy to know the word parvenu.
Now I'm going to be listening for it.
Yeah. Parvenu. Yeah. Oh, it didn't show up again in Downton. It showed up in Gilded Age. We watched Gosford Park, and then the following weekend on the Gilded Age. Parvenu.
Amazing.
Yeah, there it was.
Amazing. That I'll rewatch sooner than I rewatch Gosford Park.
Okay. Understandable.
The Gilded Age has become a bit of a comfort rewatch for me.
Yes.
So,
are you ready for some trivia?
I am. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So every episode, one of us is going to challenge the other with a trivia question related to a Julian Fellowes work. It could be about an actor, the production, the time period in which the story is set. But first, let's take a listen to what Stefanie's answer was from last week. As we talked about, in the 1970s, Julian Fellowes was writing some books.
Okay.
He wrote under the pseudonym Rebecca Greville.
Oh.
One of Rebecca's novels has an alliterative title. It is 2 words. The first word is poison. What is the second word?
Is it poison pen?
Stephanie's guess is poison pen. Stephanie is incorrect.
Oh!
It's a weird-ass title. It's called Poison Presented.
Oh.
Here's your poison, sir. Poison presented.
That
Yes.
also sounds like a really macabre theater troupe. Poison
Yeah.
presented.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So, listeners, did you get it right? If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and let us know over there. We are going to be posting the trivia question and the answer there every week. But this week, you have a question from me.
Indeed. And there's a nice bridge actually between our trivia questions in that you asked me about poison presented.
Oh, okay.
And I am asking you a question about a place, about an actor working in the place where the poison was presented in this film.
Okay.
My question for you is, in what way is Dame Eileen Atkins, who plays the cook, somewhat responsible for the world of Gosford Park and the world of Downton Abbey?
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Strange Bedfellows. We hope to get to know more about you and your thoughts on Lord Fellowes' work.
Follow us on Instagram at Strange Bedfellows, that's fellows with an ES, or email us at strangebedfellows@gmail.com.
If you would be so kind, please rate and review the show wherever you're listening to us right now, and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for listening.
Time to get back in your fancy car and head back home.
Bye.